Imagine getting attacked by police in a way that you lose an eye. But only this time, the criminal definitely deserved that, and more of a punishment. Markeith Loyd, who was arrested for the heinous murder of his pregnant ex-girlfriend, was captured by police after a huge brawl between them.
Markeith, did you want to say anything?
Stick with us till the end of this video to find out all about this thrilling yet sorrowful crime. After the jury's deliberations were completed on December 8, 2021, they unanimously decided to execute Markeith Loyd. Police officer Deborah Clayton was fatally shot by Markeith Loyd, 45, in front of a Walmart in January 2017. She was attempting to get him detained for the recent murder of his ex-girlfriend, Sade Dixon. After Clayton was killed, a manhunt was launched to find Loyd. He was found by Orlando police officers in an abandoned home, and according to court documents, the officers pummeled him as they tried to take him into custody. In the alleged beating, Loyd suffered eye loss. Loyd asserted that he shot Clayton in self-defense after entering a plea of innocence. Following the verdict, Loyd said, "I waive my Spencer hearing. I want to be sentenced today. Y'all has been doing all kinds of stuff all along." He went on to say, "These people been trying to kill me," and then he told his family he loved them. For the 2016 murder of his ex-girlfriend, Sade Dixon, and her unborn child, Loyd was given 5 consecutive life sentences in prison. According to authorities, Loyd fatally shot Dixon after an apparent disagreement outside of Dixon's residence. According to court records, Loyd visited Dixon's home on the evening of December 13, 2016, to try to persuade her not to have an abortion. At the time of his trial, he claimed that she had drawn a gun on him and he had taken it from her. Ronald Stewart, Dixon's brother, apparently stopped by to see how the two were doing outside the house. Then, as Dixon and Stewart tried to enter the house again, Loyd shot them, according to the authorities. Stephanie Dixon Daniels, Dixon's mother, was also present when the shooting occurred. When Stephanie and Dominique Daniels gave their testimony at the time, Loyd shot at them as they ran outside to aid Stewart and Dixon. Daniels reported that as further shots were fired, he drew his mother back inside. Anyhow, for killing his ex-girlfriend, Loyd was sentenced to life in prison, which only seems right by the law. Loyd was discovered at a Walmart after a shopper alerted Police Lieutenant Clayton, who was on the scene, during the week-long search after Dixon was tragically shot. What exactly happened was Clayton and Loyd got into a firefight in the Walmart parking lot, and things took an unfortunate turn after that. Clayton had been shot 4 times, with the final shot striking her in the neck, according to an autopsy. The autopsy found that the angle suggested Loyd stood over her as she was lying on the ground. Although Loyd's mental state has been a source of debate throughout the case, it was decided that he was competent to participate in the hearing of the punishment.
Attacking with a firearm, aggravated assault.
May I have your name, please?
Lieutenant Deborah Clayton was an excellent police officer in Orlando. Before Markeith Loyd shot and killed Deborah Clayton, she had served the Orlando Police Department for 17 years. After attempting to apprehend Loyd for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Sade Dixon, Clayton was fatally shot on January 9, 2017 at a Walmart parking lot at the intersection of Princeton Street and John Young Parkway. When Clayton received her degree from the University of Central Florida, the Orlando Police Department employed her in 1999. She was elevated from the rank of Master Sergeant to Lieutenant and is survived by her husband and kid. "Everything she worked for, she died for," said her son, Johnny, at a memorial for the fallen officer. "She loved people and she loved to save people and help people." According to Orlando Commissioner Patty Sheenan, Clayton was love. She gave it all to see transformation in the streets of Ivy Lane and in the corridors of Mercy Drive and up and down North Lane where she was a servant leader, Hill said at the time. Tuesday marked the start of the jury's deliberation in Markeith Loyd's second murder trial. The 46-year-old Loyd is currently on trial for the 2017 murder of Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton, a UFC alumna. Jurors had a long day after a 9-hour court hearing, according to Orange County Judge Letitia Marquez. Even the closing remarks took almost 3 hours. Loyd yelled and cursed in the courtroom as the jury was instructed to deliberate, claiming that the prosecution lied and the trial had been unfairly conducted. "These people slow as f***," Loyd said. "They don't know sh**. They're lying." The jury was absent for well over an hour and they did not return with a decision. They returned with inquiries and a request for a readback of the testimony and supporting documentation. The judge estimated that a readback would take 4 to 6 hours. Therefore, the court will continue on Wednesday. Prosecutor Ryan Williams told the jury during closing arguments that Loyd had full intention to end Clayton's life. He chased a law enforcement officer, and as he chased her, he was firing, Williams said. What other reason would Markeith Loyd have to chase a person running away other than to kill them and to end their life? Williams attempted to demonstrate premeditation in Clayton's murder using forensic data and surveillance video footage. He claimed that after shooting the officer in the back, Loyd stood over her and shot her in the neck, one of the few locations on her body where she was unprotected from bullets. Williams ultimately tried to make an argument that Loyd would have killed any cop in his way that day, using social media posts from Loyd's Facebook account. This was a hatred and anger that had been building for years, Williams said. He blamed law enforcement for what was going on in the world, and he used that anger and hatred to fuel his murder of Deborah Clayton. For the 2016 murder of his pregnant ex-girlfriend, Sade Dixon, Loyd was given a life term in prison. Attorney Terrence Lenneman stated during the defense's closing statement that the prosecution did not provide supported evidence, but rather chose 3 Facebook postings out of more than 30,000 made over a 7-year period to fabricate a story and advance an anti-cop narrative about Loyd. That argument is only to inflame your passion and to think about retribution against Markeith Loyd, Lemon said.
My mind and something else, and I was just reacting, Mary. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
Frame by frame analysis of the camera evidence, which according to Lenneman shows that Loyd was not attempting to kill Clayton, but rather to escape alive, was the foundation of the defense argument. He claimed that Loyd was insane and believed that the cops were out to kill him. 6 seconds being fired upon, defending yourself, trying to save your life when someone is trying to kill you, he said. What does the state want to happen? When Clayton was killed, Orlando Chief of Police John Mina, now the Orange County Sheriff, was present in the courtroom on Tuesday to hear closing arguments. After the defense rested its case on Monday evening, the court was adjourned. Loyd lost control as forensic consultant Christopher Robinson recounted Clayton's bullet wounds during the defense's final witness Monday cross-examination.
The defendant, who had moved to the end of the driveway, then came up and stood just off of the concrete walkway in the yard. He reached into his hand warmer part of his jacket, pulled out a Smith & Wesson .40 caliber semi-automatic pistol that he had brought with him. He said, "Nah, she ain't going away. She's not going with you." She cocked the gun, he pointed it, and he fired.
Loyd cried and reportedly addressed Seth Clayton, the victim's widower, who was present in the trial. "I told you I didn't try to kill your wife, bro." The incident was one of many times during Loyd's trial when he made rash emotional statements. Throughout the trial, it has frequently been the judge, Marquez, who has commended Loyd to maintain silence and order. Marquez first refused Loyd's request to be allowed to represent himself. Loyd has been charged with 5 counts, including first-degree murder in Clayton's death, more than 4 years after his arrest. Loyd took the witness stand on Saturday and said he did not want to kill Clayton, but instead shot her in self-defense after she fired at him. Her kid and her husband, who has been watching Loyd's trial, are the only survivors of Clayton.
That wasn't me. That wasn't you?
No.
Oh, that's legendary. That's a real man.
That wasn't even meant to happen.
That was meant to happen, but it happened.
No, it wasn't meant to happen.
But it happened.
Yeah, but I ain't jumping on nobody.
Huh?
I ain't jumping on nobody. Somebody jumped on me.
Somebody jumped on you. You're a grown-ass man. We're talking about a baby, 3-month-old baby, in the bed.
I ain't talking about no baby, because there wasn't no baby that jumped on me. So what you talking about?
I'm talking about the baby you killed, man.
All right, brother.
You see what I'm saying? Say it's okay for you to talk tough, but when I talk tough to you, you want to backpedal, man.
And you ain't talking tough. You just trying to talk to get me to talk, but I ain't trying to.
I ain't trying to get you to talk, man. You either tell the truth or you don't, man, because your word is your bond.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's video. What are your opinions on this case? Feel free to share them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on that tiny bell icon on the side to stay notified and updated on all of our future content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.